first moon landings. Check the spaceport leaflet for opening times and more information. The Woodside Ferry Terminal is home to a World War II German U-boat, U-534. The submarine has a fascinating history, and visitors are now able to see into the submarine, as well as view its numerous artifacts in our new purpose-built visitor centre.
So ferry, cross the mersey, cast this land, place I love, and here I'll stay.
There's been a ferry across the Mersey for more than 800 years, providing a link between Liverpool and the Wirral shorelines. Pier Head, our starting point, takes its name from the long stone pier which once jutted out into the river from the shore next to the Sailors' Church, the Church of Our Lady and St Nicholas. Known affectionately as St Nick's, you can see the church at the back and to the left of the Liver building, with a golden square rigger ship on its lantern-top tower. The modern 350-metre terminal on your right is Liverpool's new cruise liner berth. Liverpool is now a major cruise destination and experiencing rapid growth in cruise liner visits. We're now moving along the North Docks, passing the warehouses and quays where the Great Port was built. In all, 7 miles of docks and 23 miles of quays stretch along the Liverpool foreshore. In 1710, the Corporation of Liverpool started work on the world's first commercial wet dock, and by the end of the century, the city boasted a full dock system. Steam had revolutionised shipping, and this, combined with the Industrial Revolution and the opening up of the Americas, secured Liverpool's future as a trading city and a major port. Liverpool's unique character has been influenced by a diverse mix of races: Welsh commercialists, Irish immigrants, West Indians, Africans and Chinese. The city is home to the oldest Chinese community in Britain, and this melting pot has produced a population characterised by its vitality, resilience and extreme sense of humour. We can now see the Waterloo Dock warehouse. The dock was one of those designed by Jesse Hartley, and it opened in 1834. It was originally built for general sailing, and it was from here, as well as from George's and Prince's docks, that people emigrated to the New World. With the repeal of the Corn Laws in 1844, it became extremely profitable to import cheap corn from overseas, particularly North America, and in 1868, 3 new warehouses were erected specially designed to process grain. Because of teething troubles with the design and machinery, they didn't become fully operational until 4 years later, but they were then the most modern facilities of their day. However, one block was destroyed by enemy bombs during the Second World War, another was demolished in 1969, and after falling into disuse in 1988, the one that you see was saved and was beautifully restored and converted into apartments in 1990. Liverpool had prospered from trade with the British West Indies and the American colonies during the 18th century. A latecomer to the triangular trade of cheap goods to Africa, slaves to the sugar plantations, and sugar, rum and tobacco home to England, Liverpool nevertheless came to dominate the slave trade until its abolition in 1807. The growth of the United States of America provided Liverpool with growing volumes of trade, and new docks opened in quick succession during the 1800s. The city was described as the gateway to the British Empire and the door to the New World. Between 1830 and 1930, over 9 million people left via Liverpool in search of a better life. Before steamships were introduced, these journeys were extremely hazardous. To sail to America would take 35 days, and the trip to Australia could take 10 to 17 weeks, depending on wind and weather. The ships were crowded, and conditions encouraged the spread of diseases such as cholera. By the late 1800s, over 200 ships a week would leave Liverpool and travel to all corners of the world. ferry, as he put it, for the air. Over the years, the Mersey ferries have not only provided transport for visitors and the people of Merseyside, they've also played their part during both World Wars. In the First World War, two of the Wallasey ferries, the Iris and the Daffodil, were commandeered by the government and used as landing craft for the Royal Marines in a daring raid to neutralise the port of Zeebrugge on the 23rd of April 1918. The port was used by the German Navy as a base for their U-boats, which were a serious threat to Allied shipping, particularly in the English Channel. The plan was to block the port by sinking 3 old concrete-filled cruisers at its entrance and to blow up the viaduct that connected the mile-long breakwater with the shore, using 2 old submarines filled with explosives. The raid began under cover of a smokescreen with a diversionary attack upon German gun emplacements on the breakwater, led by the old cruiser HMS Vindictive and the 2 ferries HMS Daffodil and HMS Iris, both of which had been given special bulletproof plating for the raid. Unfortunately, at the time of the landing, the wind changed, making the smokescreen ineffective, and the Marines immediately came under heavy fire and suffered many casualties. As a consequence, it was not possible to sink the 3 blocking ships in the correct position, and only a few days later, the German submarines were able to use the port again. The Zeebrugge raid was nevertheless promoted by Allied propaganda as a key British victory, and resulted in the awarding of 8 Victoria Crosses. Of the 1,700 men involved in the operation, 300 were injured, while more than 200 were killed. Both of the ferries were badly damaged by artillery and machine gun fire, but managed to escape and limp back to Dover. Because of their work, King George V allowed the vessels to use the word Royal in their name, and after extensive refitting, they resumed their peacetime activities as the Royal Daffodil and the Royal Iris. The furthest thing you can see on the Liverpool foreshore is the £50 million dock development at Seaforth. This was the largest and most costly development in the port's history, and was officially opened in 1971 by Princess Anne as the Royal Seaforth Dock. Its main features were a container terminal, grain terminal and forest products terminal. The power to generate the docks is now provided by the row of wind-powered generators you can see on the horizon. If you now look over to the mouth of the river and the Wirral shoreline, you can see sticking out the fort known as Perch Rock and the lighthouse. Fort Perch Rock was built as a coastal defence battery during the Napoleonic period to protect the port of Liverpool. The Perch Rock battery was completed in 1829. It mounted 18 guns, mostly 32-pounders, with 3 6-inch guns installed in 1899. Originally cut off at high tide, coastal reclamation has since made it fully accessible. It's open at weekends and school holidays all year round, and features several fine displays, including the Aviation Archaeology Museum, which incorporates Luftwaffe over Merseyside exhibitions, a tea room, and this is the venue for many exciting events. The lighthouse you see now